Hey, I want to make sure I mention something, which is that you have a channel.
I do.
Which I think is fantastic, which is you have your own Sirius XM channel, Life with John Mayer, and it's a different approach because you're not just playing your music.
Very little of it. It bums me out when my music comes on. It's based on time of day. So,
and I thought of this because of the Jack track. I'm not kidding.
Did you really?
But the riff about the Jack track got me thinking, wait a minute, I know this sounds like a forced plug, but it's not. I think you have a very cool approach to having a channel, and I'm eager to check it out. But tell us what it is.
It's called Life with John Mayer, and it is not genre-based as much as it's based on the time of day.
Right.
Because when we got into algorithms and Spotify and stuff, we kind of got trapped in this idea of telling a computer what we want to hear. And I always say it's sort of like your grandmother keeping track of what you like.
Yes.
And they're wrong a lot, you know? And I know you're pulling a Jack track thing in on
No.
But
I wouldn't.
But
I would never go back to something crass. I would never call back a crass remark. That's just not me.
But you know, you go, I don't know, what do I want to hear? What do I want to hear?
Yeah.
And then you tell Spotify, and Spotify goes, I know what you want after this.
Right.
And it's the same 6-7 songs. And it starts to, like, for me personally, it was becoming claustrophobic. I'd go to the gym. I'd go, I don't know. Give me George Benson. Give me The Night. And it would go, got it, son. And then I would know what was coming after that.
Right.
And I was just getting more and more confined in what I was listening to. And I thought, if there was a Sirius channel where every time you turned it on, the music was synchronized to the time of day as best as possible. Like at night, it's super mellow music. So you can have it on in the kitchen. I do, it's great. In the morning, it's like drive time music, because when you wake up in the morning, you don't want it. It's not Tom Waits time.
No.
In the morning. It's okay to hear, since you've been gone. And you might not play that. You might not think to tell Spotify to play that. But when it comes on at 7 in the morning and you're in traffic, it's like, right on. Right. It's great. It's like a cup of coffee,
What's programmed at 10 a.m.?
Dead air.
I'll be back in 7 minutes.
We're going to take a quick break for between 7 and 11 minutes. We're going to let dead air speak for itself. I'll be right back, slightly out of breath and ready to play you some Pearl Jam.
I'll be right back after I find that Sports Illustrated with Kathy Ireland. From 1992.
What is it? Throwback? It's Throwback Tuesday.
It's Throwback Tuesday, so that would be Kathy Ireland, Sports Illustrated.
We're going to be, that's so funny. It's Throwback
Tuesday. Then you hear me opening a safe.
I like the idea. Your hardcore porn is strewn out and about throughout the house.
First of all, it's not online. It's not online. It's in a safe.
You put on white cotton gloves, which is in itself a weird obstacle.
And then 3 to the right, and then hello, Miss Ireland.
It's like you got the blue booties on, hyperbaric room. It's like the curation room of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No fluorescent lighting.
I love the burglars that come to my house and bust open the safe. They take the safe out of the wall and then they get it back to where their lair and they crack it open. Or like, what the hell is this?
They follow you home and hold you at gunpoint to open the safe, and you finally open it up, and club magazines come cascading out.
These are all very attractive women from the late 80s and early 90s.
This is a printout of Samantha Fox.
Half of these are articles. The best VCRs of 1988?
You actually printed the article on most poisonous snakes? There's always one article. The deadliest snakes.
And every now and then I'm getting aroused by that. Wow.
An interview with the John 3:16 guy from the baseball games.
Where's Conan? Someone mentioned Egyptian asp, and he dashed off. He said he'd be back in 7 to 11 minutes.
Oh my God.
Well, first of all, I'm very happy you're doing this channel, and you're going to be like taking calls. You're going to be talking to people
I go live. I take calls. Ideally, I'd like to do interviews with people. If you think I'm any good,
I would love to. I mean, this has been an absolute blast, and I would happily, anytime you want me, come by. Yeah,
I'd love bring a guitar. We'll do buckets of rain. I actually mean it. You're the most encouraging person I've ever seen during a conversation. Are you aware that you give constant kinesthetic encouragement?
I'm loving this. This is one of my favorite episodes we've ever done.
Okay,
this is great.
I look over to you, and this is if everyone in the crowd we're doing what you were doing.
Why do you think Conan keeps him around?
You're effusive. It's great.
The thing is, everyone else here, cuts me down, and Blay is always telling me that was amazing, even when it wasn't.
No, it's great.
It is amazing.
No,
it's always amazing.
This episode is great.
Good. It makes me feel so good. Honest to God.
No, I would be thrilled, honored to come by and hang. And I would not. I just have to ask you one. There's one question that's been in the back of my mind. It doesn't relate to any of this.
This is not the place.
This is neither the time nor the place for your questions. But seriously, I'm thinking to myself, I get this way around people that comedy gods that I idolize, and I'm thinking, if you're opening for the Rolling Stones, do you not leave your body and look at yourself doing it and go, this isn't real? Do you have that moment, or do you get to a thing where you're just like, no, I'm opening for the Rolling Stones?
It's somewhere in between. It's holy shit, but it's also we are bound by being musicians.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say they're peers. I wouldn't put myself on that level, but we both love the same things.
Right.
We both stand at the same altar when we play to the same things.
Mm-hmm.
And so at some point, I have to assume that the reason I got asked to be there was because I was welcome to be there.
Sure, yeah.
And so I think I play better when I go, no, you're supposed to be here. Do that thing that you do. Do that thing that you do while you're here. But it never escapes me that it's the Stones. So I try not to be intimidated. And especially now that I've played with so many great artists and had really great conversations with so many great artists, even just like practicing asking questions. I only wanted to answer questions until I was like 40.
Right.
I was only interested in hitting the balls.
Right.
And now I'm actually like, I've heard every fucking thought I have.
Yeah.
I've heard every thought. I'm pretty familiar with my take. I'm way more interested in getting someone else to a place they didn't know that they were going to get to.
And also curiosity. I think curiosity is the big engine. Curiosity is a nuclear engine. And I think the thing that has helped me in my life more than in my career anyway is that I want to know, like, oh, cool, John Mayer's coming. I want to open up the top of his head and let's play. That's really fun. And I think it's possible to lose that, and I've been very fortunate that I haven't lost my. I just want to know, like, what's up with this person? What's going on? And let's talk.
Yeah, again, I never saw it as scoring points to hear great answers, until I became older.
Yep.
I just wanted to be in the batting cage,
right?
And I think I just stopped being curious about myself,
right?
And I'll meet people who are 22 and 23 that other people will call obnoxious, and I won't be so fast to call them obnoxious. I'll be like, they're just hearing themselves play for the first time. They just got out of college, or they just wrote their first big thing. They're hearing every note they can play. I'm pretty familiar with my thoughts. Something changed where interesting thoughts from other people that I know I had something to do with extracting, or even at its best, someone coming up with how they feel.
Yep.
That to me now is way more fun than me investigating how I might feel about something. And I've just been practicing the last 3 years without really knowing it. I mean, isn't there something fun about being at a table at a dinner party and being the kind of, not the host of it, but the sort of spiritual designer of this great conversation where the other half of the table is like, what's going on over there?
Right.
And you're not talking the most, but you are providing the most in terms of getting everyone else to come out. Because the best conversations at dinner parties, it's all happening in the middle.
Yeah.
It's all taking place in the middle. So those things really interest me. And I'd like to get to the point. I think I just need to do one really good interview, and other people would maybe hear. I'm already down on myself about whether or not anyone would want to do it because it's so new for me.
Oh,
so
I wouldn't worry about that at all. Like, just anyone listening to this podcast will be happy to hear you chatter away and ask questions, and because you're really funny.
Thank you.
Really, and you've always been really funny, but also I think people, as I said, kicking around the planet for a while is a great balm. It's a great, it's great for us to marinate and because I am less judgmental. I was always curious, but I'm less judgmental, and I just kind of, and I kind of want to know what's happening with other people.
That's right.
And those are nice qualities, and I think you'll kill it. I think you're going to do a great job. I wouldn't worry about it.
I was thinking, I've survived every scary thought I've ever had in my life. I've survived it. I've woken up the next day.
Right.
And I've survived everything I thought was going to kill me. And so now, and I got to a place where I feel like there's this trust in what I do with people that if I put a record out a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, people will go, oh, I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
So everything feels so set in a way that makes me feel like it's this until a doctor sits me down and says, when I first got into medicine, I go, oh boy, whatever that conversation is someday where I'm told I can't stay.
Yeah.
That's the end of it. But until then, don't you feel like this is the straightaway now? This is the best?
Oh, I like this part better than any other part.
That you did all the work to get here,
right?
To where you can hire actors to hang out outside.
Once you got into this building, I didn't want to pay for them the whole time.
They're eating across the street.
Gone. Yeah, and they're not being paid for that time. But the minute you leave, they're all going to rush back. I actually have one guy in the corner sawing something, and there's no reason for a guy to be sawing something at a podcast studio.
You got dressed like an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
Who's the man with the measuring tape? Who's just going around measuring everything.
And also, why did I make it look like an off-track betting place? And here comes Lucky Lindy in the straightaway.